Okay, that was a solid win and all, but you're not going to overreact to it, right? No, it's only one game. We're not going to do that. You want a glass? Hi, I'm Wes, and I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 74 of the regular season, where the Astros win 4-2 over the New York Mets. It's been too long since I've said that, if we're being honest with each other. They break the 4-game losing skid, and look, this was not the prettiest game, but they won, and that is... The bar has been moved pretty low over the past 2 weeks, so we are not going to complain about it. The main plotline of the night were the two starting pitchers, Justin Verlander and Fram'd, the two aces of the staff last season, now squaring off in a season where they've gone in two very different directions. Fram'd, who, very similar season to Verlander last year, where not all of the expected and underlying stuff is there, but the ERA is just a sight to behold. And Justin Verlander, who has, after winning the Cy Young last season, just absolutely imploded. And after tonight, that ERA is at 4.5, which is just wild to see. Start with the Astros offense and more so Verlander. It wasn't the prettiest game for Justin Verlander, but it never got away from the Mets. And so even in the later innings, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, and especially the 9th inning, there was still that seed of doubt in the back of our minds as Astros fans. I'm like, they could still blow this game. Because, yeah, the 4 runs isn't pretty, the 3-run third isn't pretty, but 4 runs in an entire game, which is more or less how far Justin Verlander went in this game. He went 7 of the 8 innings pitched for the Mets. It never got out of hand. It never got fully away from the Mets. And so, yeah, the 4 runs ain't great. The 8 hits ain't great. The 5 strikeouts to no walks is... the no walks is Justin Verlander personified, to the shock of no one. But the 3 mistakes that Verlander made tonight were to his former infielders. Altuve with a sac fly in the 3rd, Bregman with a 2-run shot. Side note, the first Alex Bregman home run on a 3-0 count, which is simultaneously a testament to how he just doesn't swing in those counts and also does not get pitches to drive in those counts. Verlander finally was the one that thought, I can sneak one past him, and it did not go that way. The Astros then led 3-0, and in the 7th, Jose Altuve with an RBI single to make it a 4-0 Astros lead, heading into the 8th. And at that moment, when it was 4-0, I felt pretty relaxed. I was like, man, Fram'd has just cruised to this point. We have nothing to worry about. You're stupid. Don't ever think that. It's the 2023 Astros. No lead is safe. And I will say, the 8th inning hurts my soul, because Fram'd, through 7 innings, was in the midst of perhaps his finest hour on the mound for the Astros. After 7 innings, he had allowed 1 hit, 3 hard hit balls, struck out 9 batters, and not walked a soul. He absolutely dazzled for 7 innings. The 8th inning was ugly. I believe in the 8th inning alone, he gave up 3 hits, a walk, a pair of runs, and 5 hard hit balls. It was not a pretty 8th. Even still, even with that total just train wreck of an 8th inning, a marvelous evening for Fram'd. And so you leave the 8th inning, it is 4-2 Houston. And you get to the bottom half of the 8th, and you feel pretty okay. And then, Ryan Presley begins to warm up in the bullpen. And that was when my heart just kind of sank, because I'm like, oh, this could be the moment. I'm not going to sit here and say that had Presley blown that in the 9th inning, the season would be over. But I am saying that had this game been lost after the way it played out through the first 7 innings, that would have been the moment that 90% of the fan base just said, nope, we're all done here, and checked out mentally for the remainder of it. Now, you thought for a second, oh, no problem, because 2 quick outs, and you're thinking, perfect, we're good, and then walk, and so the man at the plate represents the tying run, and for that brief moment, you're just like, oh, I've seen this. But he gets a strikeout. He ends that awful, awful stretch. I want to say 6 consecutive appearances where he gave up a run. He ends it. He just gets out. It wasn't a beautiful inning. He gave up a hard hit ball and a walk. But he didn't give up any runs. He got through it, and the Astros won. They won a game. It's legal. I can barely believe it. So offensively, Altuve had a base hit and pair of RBIs with the sac fly. Bregman had the 2-run home run. That's positive. Those are both positive things to see. Yainer Diaz had another multi-hit game. Guys, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And to that point on the lineup, I would just make Diaz the catcher for by and large the remainder of the season. Obviously, you can't run a catcher every single day, but as often as you can, I'd put him there. And you gotta find a spot for Chas McCormick. I did a little bit, just checked up my annual Chas McCormick check that I do quite a bit. He's got a 111 WRC plus. He's got like 1.1 Fangraph WAR, and you might say, Weston, that's nothing. There are Astros fans that want us to trade for Cody Bellinger, who has a lower WRC plus and lower WAR this season. I don't want to hear another soul mention Cody Bellinger, who also says Chas McCormick sucks, because I have seen that argument, and I just want to throw that information back in their face. And to cap off the offense, Corey Julks also had a multi-hit game, so that's super cool to see for him. Anyway, the Astros tomorrow afternoon will look to cap off the Mets series with a win and win the series. Please, they desperately, desperately need it. And in an afternoon contest, 2:10 Eastern, 1:10 Central, the Astros send Christian Javier to the mound, and the Mets will send Tyler McGill to the mound. I'll be here afterwards to talk about it, but as for right now, that is all I have to say. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.